Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the now appearing at Loonees podcast. This is a weekly podcast where we sit down and interview the headliners that are coming through Loonees Comedy Corner this weekend. As always, I'm your host, Tracy Kellett, resident comic here at Loonees. I'm here with my co-host, Cam McKenzie.
Hello.
1/3 of the Beanie Boys being blunt.
Yeah, that's me.
And today we have a very special guest. I'm actually really excited for this one. He's an absolutely amazing comic, magician, ventriloquist. He's been on NBC, The Ellen Show. His videos online have over 100 million views.
Man, credits read like a restaurant book.
Right? Let's get it going right now for Andy Gross. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's a good intro. I kind of wish I had a better act now.
Right? Dude, that was like an all-star game intro. That was really cool. Yeah, dude.
I do this in UFC intros, so, you know.
Nice, yeah. I was expecting like the mic to drop down from the ceiling. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing great.
Good? Hell yeah, man. Okay, so like people know you as a lot of stuff, I'm sure, but like magician I think is the one that comes up the most. But what was the first trick you saw like ever in person that you remember being like, holy shit, I have to like figure out that guy?
That's a great question. I would think it would be
Good. I thought of it today, so thank God.
I don't know if you remember, could be aging myself, Doug Henning. Do you remember that name? He was a magician.
Oh yeah, I know that name.
Like before Copperfield. And he was huge. In that time, he had a Broadway play and on TV specials. And he did a couple of tricks on television that I saw that just blew me away. And that was,
how old were you?
I was about 9. And really, the very first thing that happened, I got into the ventriloquism first. And I saw the movie Magic with Anthony Hopkins and Anne Margaret. And that was, I think it was Anthony Hopkins' first American film. And I remember going to that thing and just, when I saw that dummy come on the screen and kill people, I go, I've got to learn this. This could come in handy later in life.
This is a life for me, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You can get away with murder. It's like a better hitman.
That was really the film that got me started. That one, I thought, this is great. Nice. I wanted a dummy right after that. I remember just driving my parents nuts. I go, how do they do that? How do they do that? How do they do it? And they'd yell at me, just go to the library and read a book, figure it out, you know.
Man, yeah, go figure out ventriloquism on your own, dude. I don't have time to teach you. I got to work.
Shout out public libraries.
That's what I did. I went to the library back then.
From science to ventriloquism.
You Google it, you know. So much easier.
Yeah. What was I do a lot of voices and accents and stuff. I grew up in a very accent heavy home. What was do all your puppets, I'm assuming, have different voices?
Yeah, they do.
Right? Like
but you know what? Yeah, all of them do, and that's hard to work on because you have to work on a voice that fits the character, fits his look, and that's a big part of it. But what I wanted to learn was how to throw my voice. You know, the old thing. You know, fool your friend.
Dude, I was about to ask about that. That shit's insane.
And that stuff. I mean, like throwing my voice into my hand, like.
Fuck.
That's so cool.
Yeah, dude, that's great. That's like Rob Brydon is a Welsh comedian, and he does a small man in a box in his throat. Right. Like that's that same voice. That's crazy. And I've been trying, and I look so stupid just going like, and I can't. It's not. It's just squeaks.
No, I've had so much fun with that because you really can fool people. And I used to do it in school. I do it in elevators, and I still do it at funerals.
You were a menace.
I love the let me out aspect at a funeral.
Dude.
No, I don't do it that. That's crazy. But you really can fool people, and I've had some great stories in LA. I've done it quite a bit. One time I was getting on a building on an elevator, and there's a lot of celebrities, you know, in Los Angeles. You'll run into them from time to time. And Bob Newhart was getting on the elevator, and I thought, well, I'll throw my voice. Wow. And there were a couple other ladies standing there, and I started throwing my voice. Well, he fell for it, and he starts banging on the elevator door, thinking there's someone stuck inside. And he kept saying, you know, are you stuck? Do you need help? And he was real deadpan, like he is, you know, on television.
Right, like Bob Newhart,
And I kept doing it. He was totally falling for it. And I finally said, you know, it's me. And he looked at me and goes, oh, ventriloquist? And I felt like saying, no, I'm a ballerina. Yeah, I'm a ventriloquist, yes. And he didn't say anything else. That was it. He said, that's good, and that was it. I rode the elevator down with these ladies, and I thought it was cool. It's Bob Newhart, right? So I'm telling some friends.
Right.
Like 2 or 3 months later, they call me and go, my mom was reading the National Enquirer, and she sees how Bob Newhart got fooled by a ventriloquist on an elevator. It stormed out. So these ladies must have called it in, or somebody did, because I didn't, and he didn't. So,
was it the small voice you did calling it in? It was just the other voice. He just picked up the phone and like, that's hilarious.
But I really have had fun.
That was a probably really awkward elevator ride for him. He's like,
yeah, it was quiet on the way down. We were everybody was quiet because he knew he was fooled, and he was maybe a little embarrassed, which he shouldn't have been. I mean, it works, you know.
Oh yeah, it's just a funny.
No, it's
joke.
a fun little gig.
Yeah.
Fun little bit.
Yeah. How silly.
So I love that your puppets all have different personas. Do you find as a comedy writer that that's really exciting to write for these different viewpoints that you couldn't write from your own perspective?
It's
You
like
might be able,
worldview
you couldn't write those jokes coming from you per
No,
se.
you're right.
But coming from these different personas, is that really exciting?
It is. The puppet, for whatever reason, can get away with saying more things that I probably couldn't get away with saying. And I don't know why.
Sure.
I mean, it's obviously
like a
me.
cartoon.
And I know Jeff Dunham says that too all the time. He says the puppet says stuff. And if I say it, I might get in trouble. But we don't, because the puppet's doing it, which is really weird.
It is weird. It's cool, though.
I know. That's amazing.
It's funny that it's just like a glossed over thing. It's just like, I don't know. It's a puppet talking.
Like,
but
it's
you know,
literally
like people,
a puppet. But
I've seen videos of people like putting the microphone up to the puppet's mouth. Like, it's like they're truly fooled. Like they don't actually put it together.
One of the,
that it's
that's
a hand
great.
up an ass.
One of the very first ventriloquists on TV was Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney. And he was the voice of Tigger. Old time guy, had a show in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
And when he was first doing a couple of his early shows, they're doing the show, first ventriloquist on television. And the producer kept saying, we can't hear the dummy. So Paul kept talking louder. They go, we hear you, but we're not hearing the dummy. So he said, well, I'll make the voice louder. And he's making the dummy's voice louder and louder, as loud as he could. He goes, maybe ventriloquism doesn't work on TV. And then as he looked up, he saw the boom operator kept moving the boom over the dummy's head when he spoke. And then back.
Oh, my gosh.
So the illusion is so real. And I even get caught up in it. You watch a good ventriloquist, you get caught up in the illusion. You think the puppet's real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kermit the Frog, I didn't know until yesterday. It was like an actual.
I'm really sorry that you had to find out this way, too.
It's okay. I turned 30 soon. It's just a cool thing to learn.
He's not real?
Oh, dude, it's like sticks, like crazy stuff. I had no idea.
So speaking of all, you have an amazing following, by the way, both online and in person. But can you describe, I feel like we're comics, we're lowly comics, but your experience on the Ellen Show, can you describe that experience to us? Like, how did that come to be? What was it like for you?
Yeah, what trick did you do?
I did the one cut in half. And that was probably...
Which, by the way, we still can't figure it out. We've looked at it for hours.
I've been staring at that picture
all
day.
It's such a great trick. I got very lucky with it. I mean, that was already quite a few years ago I did it. It just took off. I mean, I had no idea it was going to do what it did. And I'll never forget, we just moved into a new house, and I said to my daughter at the time, she had an iPhone. I said, let's go down to the park, right down the corner, and I just want to film myself doing this trick, And my wife said, are you sure that's the best idea, to jump out from behind trees, cut in half, screaming at the new neighbors? Is that really how we make friends in the neighborhood? And I go,
let's get property prices
down. You're cutting the wheat from the chaff. Like you're
which
separating.
Was weird.
You're trying to find the real friends.
It was weird. So we did it, but I knew on stage it got great reactions. So I said live it's going to get even better. So we did it.
Oh, sure.
Put it up, and 3 months went by, and I was at a show, and she called me. She was only maybe 14 or 15. She called me. She goes, Dad, did you see the video has like 7,000 views? And I go, wow, that would normally take 2 or 3 years, right, to get that.
Oh, sure.
And then I'm eating dinner after the show. She goes, it has 25,000 views. That was like a half hour later. And then my phone starts going bing, 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 because all the comments were set to come into my phone. I used to get one a year, 2 a year before that. But now they're just rolling in. Something's up. I have to turn the comments off. She calls me. She says there's 125,000 views. I was like, holy cow, something is up. In the morning, there was 1 million. And I got a call.
Jeez.
I got a call like at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was Good Morning America, I think it was. And they said it was so strange.
They're up early.
And they said, hey, is this Split Man? And I felt like Iron Man, Tony Stark or something. I'm like, who? They go, is this Split Man? I go, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, hang on, let me go get him.
Do we have permission to use your video? No. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good night, goodbye. And I thought, I didn't even know what was going on. It was so weird. But it worked.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh. Well, also, what year was that?
2014.
I feel like so that was a different. Dude. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago, but social media and the digital age that was a long time ago. That was
pop off, and then
MySpace still existed in 2014.
Yeah, but then like my grandparents probably have seen that. Yeah, they're like, I definitely watched Good Morning.
You know what's strange?
Like, I'm going to call them. Actually,
it was one of the first. I didn't realize it was one of the first big viral magic videos out there. And it's weird because now there's so many young kids doing magic tricks on there. They got great followings, and it's changed.
AGT has a ton of magicians on there now with the sleight of hand tricks and things like that.
And they're exposed. A lot of magicians expose it, which I hate. But
Oh, sure.
I was going to ask, so how do you feel about those exposure videos? You know, because of course there was the TV series that we're not going to plug because now we're saying we're not a big fan of it. But how do you feel like that's kind of like sullying the craft?
I didn't know people reveal the trick.
Yeah. There was an entire I'll show you later. I'm not going to say it right now because I'm not trying to drive people to it.
I needed the money.
Dude, it's all right. That's so funny because why wouldn't you just
Puppets
like,
are
oh
expensive.
wow, what a cool trick, and then you just try and figure out on your own how it's and then bullshit with your friends.
It's sad. Yeah, there was a guy who wore a mask and he called himself like the masked magician, I think, and he would just expose tricks, and it was really stupid. But now it's even worse because online, you know, anyone can just anybody is doing it.
Away.
Right. Anything for likes, anything for views.
Well, I was just thinking today, I don't think I've seen a magic show live. Like, I don't think I've ever seen one.
So
and
our
I've only
producer,
seen
Chris,
so I'm really excited for this weekend.
He loves magic. And we went to Vegas and we were going to go see a big magic show.
Sure.
And I wasn't into it at the time. So I was like, I'd rather go see Absinthe. And to this day, he doesn't let me live it down. He's like, why didn't you let me go see them make this jumbo jet disappear? You know what I mean?
Come on, dude. It's crazy.
It's fun.
Shit.
You know what? I'll tell you, since magic and ventriloquism, you know, it's for a lot of times we were like the stepchild. You know, if you do any prop act at all, you know how comedians look at us and go,
sure.
you know.
Right.
But all of a sudden, with America's
it's so
Got
clicky
Talent
like high school.
and all of these shows, you know, these guys are winning. There's 3 or 4 ventriloquists have won in modern day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There was the young girl. What's her name? Maisie?
Darcy.
I'm not 100%, but the young Darcy.
Darcy.
And there's another young girl doing it right now that's just doing really far right now. She's doing great singing.
That's cool.
Oop, hang on. There you are.
That's a cool thing to learn, though.
He disappeared.
No, I'm back.
He
What
came
a cool
back.
trick to learn, like you were saying, just like being a menace in school and just throwing your voice, just like having fun with voices.
I know it's so Dennis the Menace, but like on another level, and I
like
love
such
that.
a goofy thing for kids to still do. I love that. That's awesome.
But I think it's cool too that you've brought this art to the masses. So now we do have young people growing up that want to do that. You know what I mean? It's like watching stand-up comics and wanting to actually write for a living. Like I think that's incredible that we've kind of there's an insurgence of this.
It really
now.
has.
We all kind of get to do what we were watching.
It seemed like it was a dying art for a while, and then Jeff Dunham, you know, went to the stratosphere with his characters, and then like you said, the young girl Darcy Lynn. I come to shows now at some of the theaters. And kids are out there holding puppets up. They're bringing their puppets to the shows.
Oh, that's cool, man.
That's really cool.
Nice. Are there like conventions and stuff like magic conventions that they throw, like Comic-Con, like Magic Con?
I'm sure there has to be. Right?
There is, and it's really pretty neat. I went for the first time again in 20 years. I hadn't been there in 20 years. I went last year.
Oh wow!
It's in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Just actually in Cincinnati now, right?
We have a lot of followers in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's where all of our listeners live. Actually,
it's our bread and butter.
It's actually Cincinnati, where it's right across the thing there, and it's
shout out Cincinnati.
Shout out
every year. There's about 500 or 600 ventriloquists that come from all over the world, and it's a little creepy because they're all walking around with their puppets, and some of these guys very serious, very serious.
Sure.
Jeff Dunham goes every year. Darcy goes every year. This was the first time I went in a long time, but Jeff's been going since he was a junior national champion. You know, he won the junior ventriloquist open mic things, and he's been going forever.
That's awesome.
I think that's amazing. So is Jeff Dunham an asshole? I'm kidding.
No, we don't have to.
I bet he's amazing. I've seen interviews with him. He seems like one of the the blue collar guys, right? Just like a very low key, goofy.
We kind of got to be goofy.
Salt of the earth kind of guy.
Stuff. That's such a fun, silly thing.
He did it a long time. I mean, that guy's been doing it forever. Yeah. Worked hard. How long have you been? Shows.
Well, you said you watched stuff when you were 9. Have you been doing like magic and
I got into it 9, 10 years old. Ventriloquism from the movie Magic. Wow. And then I saw a couple of and then Doug Henning I saw. And I had a friend that did some card tricks, and then that was it. I was hooked. Nice.
I think that's incredible. So, I mean, now you've been doing it for
40 years, 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
I was going to guess 30, and I didn't want to insult you. But yeah, I mean, that's incredible.
That's awesome, Tim.
That's absolutely amazing. Well, we're really excited for this weekend. We do have a segment that we call Smash or Grass. Yeah. And it's where basically we're going to run some. This is the Magician Edition. We usually do it with comics, local and bigger, but we're going to do magicians.
This is when I get hated, right?
No, this is when you're going to get loved.
This is when you're going to get loved.
They're both good options.
They're always great
options.
One is just make love, one is just smoke weed.
Smash or grab?
Smash.
Grab is...
Or grass. Smoke a bowl with it.
They're going to smoke a little weed. We're in Colorado.
Yeah, we're in Colorado. It's all legal here.
Not get smashed. We want to smash them.
Yes.
Or grass.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Or grass.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with David Blaine.
Yeah, sure.
Or David Copperfield.
Yeah, we'll do the Davids.
We're going to do David's first.
What are my options again? Give it to me again.
Smash or grass? You want to smash them?
Yeah, you're going to have sex
Who
with
you
them?
getting me?
Are you going to smoke a bowl?
Who are you getting me?
David Blaine and David Copperfield.
Both of them?
Yeah, which one? Which is which?
Yeah, you have to assign 1-to-1.
Well, Copperfield, I don't know anymore. I'm going to say, maybe grass. We could do it, I guess. All right.
Yeah, sure. That'd be an interesting bowl.
He probably has really good stories.
And Blaine,
you know.
Sure.
I bet he has a funny laugh.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd like to smoke weed with David Blaine. I feel like he'd make the blunt disappear, and then he'd give it back.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
he'd just sit there.
How did you do that?
Watch.
Yeah.
He would just keep repeating himself over and over.
His V-neck just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're just like, what is going on?
Look into my eyes. Look at me. Look at me. That's not my hand.
I haven't slept in 18 years.
Check your back pocket. I'm like, why? Ew. My hand is back there. Oh, my God. Okay, this one, Smash or Grass. Chris Angel. Or who's the other one that you said?
Chris Ramsey.
Two
very different.
You got Mind Freak, who I don't even know.
I don't know.
Let's make waves. I don't
know
if he's
him at all. I mean, I know of him, heard of him recently. I know he's got a great
whatever
following
your
and
brain
everything like
assigns
that.
to
I don't
Chris.
know him, but Chris, I'm going to say maybe Grass again with Chris Angel. He's pretty cool.
I feel like
There
he'd
you go.
lace it with something crazy.
I mean, he was with
He'd
Holly
mind freak
Madison
you.
for a long
Yeah,
time, so I'm
he's
sure he,
pretty
again,
cool.
has stories.
That show was interesting. Mind Freak was always
It's
wild.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
couldn't watch it. It scared me.
Yeah, I would go to that, and then I would go watch Scarred, because I really wanted to watch
I don't
Scarred.
know if there's anyone
It
I
looked like
really
the guy from Papa Roach.
smash out there that I really don't like.
Yeah,
There's-
just
Jimmy
all
Barrett,
grass.
Yeah,
I'm
no magicians
serious.
that we're going to smash.
And I don't even do it that much.
I love
Any
that.
of the puppets?
Yeah, any puppets?
Yeah.
Um,
Pick two of the favorite
not
puppets
Ahmed.
to smash or
I'd
grass.
probably smash it.
Yeah,
Let's
Oh, there
smash
you go.
would be-
Ahmed.
Let's smash. He needs some loving, I think.
Oh, boy, I love him.
It's been a while since anyone's ever given him any favors.
Poor
love
Ahmed.
Poor Ahmed.
But good for Jeff for being able to say those things through Ahmed again.
Yeah.
The craft.
How fun.
I love that.
Okay, so this weekend you are headlining Loonees Comedy Corner. It is
Yeah.
happening. We
Yep.
got a cool lineup. One
Yep.
of our friends, local ledge from San Francisco and here, Salma Zaki, is hosting.
Yep.
She's great. It's going to be a fun show.
It's 4 shows.
4 shows.
2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 7 and 9:30, both nights. I know we're close to selling out, but if you guys
Yeah.
are listening to this, call in, get some tickets. We do have standing room once we sell
It's great.
out. So.
Yeah. I think we
yeah.
sold out last
gonna
time.
be an
which
amazing
was, I
time.
had a great time there last time. It really was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, you
Yeah.
did.
It's always fun.
And that room was electric, and it was so much fun to be a part of.
You
I
could
was
say
here
it
for
was
that one.
magic.
Oh, I didn't even.
I'm so sorry.
Gosh darn it, I
I've been
didn't even think
waiting
about
for
that.
20 minutes. but-
Okay, you guys want to see one quick trick before I go?
Yes!
please.
Now, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to use both of you. Just imagine that I have 4 queens, 4 jumbo queens right here. We're going to go.
Okay.
We're going to go. Just one of you decide. I'm going to remove 2 of the queens. Ready? 1, 2. Now, did I just remove both of the black ones or both of the red ones? Your choice.
Both
Both
black
of the black
ones.
ones. You're right. Can you see them? Now I'm going to
Yeah.
take one of them and I'm going to place it right back in. Boom. I just placed one back. Did I replace the clubs or the spades?
The
You
spades.
sure?
I'm
Watch.
positive.
You know, hold on. Now check this out. Check this out. Not only was it the spades, it happened to be the only red one I had.
Jesus,
Now, hold on.
fuck!
I didn't even bother bringing the other ones.
Man!
There you go, huh?
All right.
Wow, I got to change my corduroys. That was insane. Oh.
Thank
Holy
you so
shit.
much,
Yeah.
Andy,
Thank you,
for
Andy.
being a part
Absolutely.
of the podcast.
Thank
We're going
you.
to see you this weekend. And again,
Yeah.
everybody, LooneesCC.com for tickets, 719-591-0707. Call
us
in,
up.
get the reservations. This has been the Now Appearing at Loonees
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you,
Thank
Split
you
Man.
again
All
for
right.
blowing our mind.
Fuck yeah, Split Man. Yes!
Come on down to Loonees.